Second time lucky. I am jumping on a live with a fabulous private mentee of mine. I've been helping her grow her business, build out her brand, work on her offerings, really give her that clarity and mirror her potential in terms of her mindset and helping her get out of her own way and really create the business that she's always longed for. So I am going to invite her in. We're going to have a chat. And here she is, second lucky.
Let's go again.
Hello,
Hi,
hello. How
Nancy.
are you? Good to
I'm
see you.
good to
Good
see
to
you.
see you. So I was just mentioning about how much I've loved working with you and continue to work with you. You've come into my private mentee world where I've joined your business and we've really refined your messaging, your positioning, and I've loved it because there's so many modalities that you offer to women that are feeling disconnected out there. So I'm going to hand it over to you to share a little bit about the amazing work that you do and we can have a chat from there.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm a clinical naturopath of 13 years experience working in the women's health and hormone space. But I support women by blending all that beautiful, juicy naturopathic work in with mind body medicine, some intuitive healing methods to really get to that deeper level of healing, which I find just working on a surface level isn't supporting women enough to get the shift that they really want in their health. So I love blending those two processes together to really work on supporting women's healing journey.
I love that. And it's that, that element of intuitiveness and the energy healing that you bring, as well as being a naturopath, which is just golden. I feel that a lot of women are feeling disconnected and needing that deeper work,
Yeah.
which gives them, like you say, that big shift.
Yeah.
And as I've mentioned to you before, as a marketer, I can put my customer hat on very well, but really authentically, I've been through that myself. And, coming into perimenopause at 41, it was this massive shock to the system, almost like I've said to you before on the podcast I watched, like my body had been burgled.
Yeah.
And, I didn't feel connected with the system and what it was presenting to me. And so I found, luckily, someone like yourself that not only helped me with my bloods and understanding my hormones, but simultaneously helped me with my nervous system regulation and the healing work, which transformed my health and my life, to be honest, and my relationship with
Yeah.
my
Yeah. I'm
children
sure
and my husband. And so
everyone
I'm
benefits.
just so grateful for
Yeah.
that because I feel that not every, lots of women don't really know about incredible people like you. And so you coming into my world to help you with clarity and really getting focused on what you bring to the world has been wonderful from that creative challenge for me because I've been there and I can see how important that work is. And just to dive a little bit deeper for women, like how important do you feel the energetic work is? Obviously on top of the medical side and the bloods and understanding the deeper work, but the energy side that some people can phrase slightly woo, or they're not really sure how important that work is. I know how important it is as an intuitive in the way that I work with different people and businesses and entrepreneurs. Everyone's different. But how important do you feel it is in terms of tailoring your services?
Yeah, look, I think it's crucial to be honest because it's what's missing, especially in the women's health space. Women are intuitive beings by nature, and I think when we often are presented with a problem, a health problem, a hormonal problem, we've got one model to go down. And when that model feels a bit restrictive or doesn't feel very tailored towards us, then we're often left feeling quite disillusioned by what we're
Mm,
being offered and disconnected. I'm even thinking about specifically women who are going through IVF. It's such a get that final aim at all costs that the woman
mm,
becomes a machine basically, and it's
yeah.
very disconnected from the actual goal of bringing a beautiful human life. It's they're like chalk and cheese methods of getting to their end goal. um, and not to say there's not a need for that as well, but where I find the intuitive wisdom comes through and why it's so important is it's getting women connected back to their own knowledge and their own
Mm,
wisdom and
mm,
settling into a state where their body is open to receiving healing and being in a receptive state and a willing state to heal from, I work with people from PCOS to perimenopause to endometriosis, like all manner of really severe, debilitating, chronic health conditions. And I do blend both. I love blending. I'm a pathology nerd. I love going down the techo side and working out what's biologically going wrong. And they might have been given misdiagnosis as well. So for me, it's like I'm hearing what the person's been told. I'm not, often I have to query it. That doesn't feel right for me. And we need to look both investigatively into that, but also intuitively how then we go forward and how does healing work best for that woman, not a stock standard protocol, which just doesn't suit everybody. So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
intuitive nature and the connection and the nervous system regulation and just sensing and being in their bodies and really clear on what they want and how they want to be helped and healed is everything. It's so important.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're so passionate about it. And that's why I love when you stepped into my world, is me mirroring your potential in terms of how passionate you are with all these modalities that you offer,
Yeah.
and bringing it into that offer and allowing people to understand that from your messaging and your positioning, and, working with you and your mindset, and just knowing that this is such powerful work,
Yeah.
and more women need to know about you and to feel into that. And that intuitive nature that you're speaking about is, as we've said before, it could be phrased slightly woo, or because it isn't pigeonholed and structured, but actually, same with me with entrepreneurs and like yourself or anyone that comes into my world, I don't structure them into one pigeonhole. I work with the person and their energy and what they want to bring to life and what success looks like. And same with you with the women. Everyone is so unique, and the way that we step into our intuitiveness and actually really feeling into that person and what they need is our superpower.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what you said, that it is that flexibility and that tailoring for both what you and I do, of treating the woman in front of us, treating the person in front of us. So for some people that will look a little bit more woo from how I treat women.
Mm,
For some people they want more of a structure, and so that's fine. Like, I love working with the woman and where she's at and what her goals and outcomes are, and we can always be flexible and fluid around that. There will always be very strong support, helping her with guidance, but I love bringing in that more energetic side, because it can look like so many different things to different people.
yeah.
Like, some women I might work with an energetic essence, a plant essence. Other women we might look at what's coming up in their dreams, what are they processing that they're hiding from their consciousness, and it's coming out
Mm,
subconscious. That can give us great info on where their sticking points are and what they're worried about, because
yeah.
the stress and the nervous system speak volumes to how our hormonal health particularly
Yeah.
respond. It's so
Yeah.
sensitive. And
Yeah.
if we ignore that and just go straight to drugs or medications or even supplements, we're missing a beautiful part of
Yes.
the piece of the information. So yeah.
Yeah, and like it's funny how I'm bouncing this back and relating this to my business as well. But it's the intuitiveness, and it's the same with me, as I can provide, the creative ideas, the structures, the processes, but it's also what's going underneath the bonnet,
Yeah.
in terms of the subconscious level. Because if we don't have that on board in our beliefs, then we're not actually going to take action in our business.
Yeah.
And it's always about working with mirrors. And as I mentioned before, with me going through my perimenopausal journey, I'm so grateful to the lady that I found with similar offerings to yourself that helped me get through that, and to mirror what could have been going on. I mean, energetically, things that have been handed down to me, my lineage, like there's so much, isn't there? Such a richness in what can cause, different things to play out in the body. It's just
Oh,
fascinating. And so,
yeah.
yeah, it's just it's really, really interesting, and I've absolutely loved working with you and continue to work with you and delve into this as a creative project, and bringing Kate in as a brand, and actually bringing your essence to life in terms of your branding, your marketing, your offering, your positioning, helping you almost with that identity shift
Yeah.
because of how important your work is. And for anyone that's watching, how has that helped you, having a mentor on board and to support you with your growth in your business?
Yeah, look, it's been amazing from exactly that intuitive perspective to help me see what I couldn't see. So we've talked about mirroring, and it's, we often can get very stuck in the way that we do things and think this is how I operate. But I was not stepping into my full power. And I've always had the energetic and the intuitive aspect behind what I do, but I've never talked about it. I've never built that into my superpower, which I feel like it is now after working with you, which has been amazing. So you've been really good at helping me get some clarity around what I'm doing, and also consistency in getting that message out. So that's been really useful. And having that constant contact with you, whether it's sessions or the WhatsApp chats, it's good to course correct. And it's what I do with my women as well. You don't want to sort of meet them once and then send them on their way. You want to know where the struggles are coming up, when they're coming up, and help them get through that stuck moment, to shift them, to help them keep growing. And so that's what you've been really good in helping me do as well. Just be consistent, and have that support constantly. It's been really useful for me. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I absolutely loved it. And it's exactly that. It's the accountability. We all need our humans to reflect our potential and to help us understand where we're getting in our own way. It's difficult to have a system or AI actually represent that emotional connection and help us go for it and really lean into that potential and follow our creative essence. Because when we originally started speaking to each other, what you were telling me that lights you up versus what you were presenting out there in the marketplace, I was saying we need to shift things
Yeah.
definitely and actually bring you into it. And now, the response that you've had from a lot of your clients and people that are in your world are really interested
Yeah.
in the intuitive side and the energetic side. And you were part of one of my Reach Business Community accountability sessions recently. And all of the women who were on that call were like, I've never really heard of an intuitive naturopath, or I don't know enough. And it
Yeah.
was just a clear sign for us on just how important it is for people that are looking for that deeper connection.
Yeah, and I love that. And it's also, you've been able to help me step into my power to do the work that truly lights me up. And there is a need. As you said, it's like sometimes you have to create the thing that's not there, and people are looking for something. And until we all can step into what we're supposed to be doing, then we're hiding our light, and that's not serving people. And that's really part of my message too, is just being of service and genuine service to women out there. And you can only do that when you're really authentically doing what you're supposed to be doing. So you've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
really helpful to help me, yeah, put all that into process, which has been great.
Yeah, well, it's the work that I love to do, and as I've mentioned, you stepping into this light and this creative self-expression is it's allowing the women who are in need of your services, who want to be seen and want to be heard. That's what we're really ultimately supporting. And so the socials element and the creative element for you, it feels effortless because it is just you being of service. I think
Absolutely.
this is where people get it wrong in terms of visibility, in terms of content creation and showing up and marketing is doesn't have to be this mountain of awkwardness and something they have to do. It's actually just you being of service, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
And
Yeah, and I
as
love
a
that.
small business, it's really difficult. You get caught up in how you should be marketing and what you should be doing, and you're told again so many structures that don't always sit right in your body. So it's
Mm,
been really amazing to find someone like yourself who is also very intuitive and works fluidly, exactly the way that I like to work. So it's been a great sort of find as a fit to know that it's
yeah.
natural and authentic, as you said. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, no, I love working with you, Kate. And I feel that for any woman who is watching, who is feeling, as I was, disconnected from their body, looking for that deeper support, that want to get results, in many different areas in health, then Kate is the woman. She is unbelievable and has so many great programs that we've co-created and worked on and weaved in all of her magic. So reach out to her if you need help. Kate, thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Mandy.
jumping on this live. It's been a pleasure to share your light with everyone. And yeah, have a wonderful day.
Lovely. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mandy.